Is it Wednesday again? Yeah. It's Hump Day Ints with Alan Anderson. Hey, it's me, Alan Anderson, with Anderson Estimating Service and ETU. Yeah, I'm going to start that hyperlink thing soon. Hey, I just want to start off by saying, look, I've been doing, I was a math major at Cal Poly. And then I started working for a large grading contractor. When I first started doing this Takeoff stuff, they used to send me off to battle with the engineers, which they always lost because it's pretty simple. It's just basic geometry and basic logic. And I worked for some great people. At CW POS, and they taught me so much about how construction quantities work and all that. So I just wanted to give you a little background that I've been doing this for 40 years, just quantities. That's it. I've been doing quantities. I do my own quantities. I don't really trust anybody to do the quantities because of things like this, but let's go into it real quick and we'll go through the whole process, okay? All right, so the topic today is about quantities, obviously. So I had a customer, they said, hey, you didn't put the pad overbuilds into your model and you didn't cut back the curbs 2 feet. I'm like, nope, I will never do that. Not for balance quantities. Never. Not 100% will never do that. I don't care if you tell me to. Let me show you why. Let's just go to a sample here. Oh yeah, this is my website here. Hey, by the way, I've got some free tool there for backfill calcs. So let's go and look at a job, okay? Here's a project. And this is what it looks like. Overlay. Let's get this and look at this. So this is what it's going to look like at the end of the day. This is the volumes you want to do. You want to compare, what you want to do is you want to compare your existing topo and then strip out. Let's go through that. So you want to initially go through and strip out. We want to take out our paving sections, and then we want to put all these into the build, okay? The paving section should be in the design, the hardscape, the building sections, the topsoil strip, demolition strip. All these things should be in your initial quantities. And let's go look at this project, okay? If you look at see it says subgrade versus existing. This one didn't have a strip. Oh, there it is, stripped. So there's my strip. So that's what I should be comparing. My subgrade, which is, if we go through the edit, I'm going to go in and edit. We're going to go to home, and we go to display. Oh yeah, if you're ever trying to review somebody's takeoff, this is the best way to do this. Go into report regions and see what they have. Make sure everything is, so they have so we have all these different sections. We've got the light asphalt, we've got the topsoil around the perimeter, and we've got the driveways. We've got all these different sections, right? We put every one of these sections in. So this site should be complete. And then in the existing, let's see if we have anything on this one. I don't see any stripping. Let's see, strip regions. No, it's just one big strip region. Let's see what it had. Topsoil. So this one had 4 inches of topsoil. So we stripped this whole site, 4 inches, okay? And then we compare that to the design stripped, okay? That's the quantities you should be comparing. That's how you get your volumes, okay? That's your quantities. And then, you apply your shrinkage values and all that stuff. Now that's contractor specific. I can go through calculations with you on that. There's all kinds of different ways to actually mathematically calculate your shrinkage. And then you should be looking at your soils report for all the strip losses and stuff like that. So those are very important. So this is what you should compare when you're doing your takeoffs, okay? This is the volume. Now, there's pad overbuilds. Let me just show you all the other quantities you could possibly be doing. separate, because you want to know how much import or export. That's all you're trying to do. You're not trying to make a construction model or anything like that. You're trying to get your volumes to, hey, at the end of the day, how much volumes am I going to have to, how much am I going to have to import or export? And then you adjust those volumes. There's all kinds of adjustments. Let me show you. Let's see, where is it? There's my list. Here's all the adjustments. These are just a small portion. Pad overbuilds, pad trimming for dock high pads. Sometimes you have to overbuild those and trim them back. The foundation footing excavation, that's going to generate dirt. Pipe trenching, retaining wall back cuts. You don't put those in your original wall. MSE walls, pipe for geogrid walls. All these things, buttress excavation, fill keys, over excavation, temporary stockpiling, double handling, none of these are part of those volumes. None. Lime treatment, because I usually, because you're bringing in material, lime, you're going to bulk up. Because you're bringing in whatever, 6%, so you're going to have 6% more material. Soil processing, screening, rock loss, because, they say, oh, hey, you know what? 4% of it, 5% of it's going to be over 6 inches. That's going to be a loss. All these things, pond excavations, temporary basins, diversions, all these things are going to be additional quantities. The key distinction is the main site balance is based on this existing surface stripped against this subgrade surface. That's what you should be comparing to get your volumes for import or export. Let's go look at that overbuild problem we had. Because I wanted to show, look at what happens when you do your overbuild. If I did this project with an overbuild, 5-foot overbuild, I want to show you. So what I did was I went in and I made a separate model, go into the model of my overbuild, and there it is. This is 5 foot outside at the same elevation, 193. And I just put a perimeter around it. Guess what? There is a value. On this job, it's really small, but let's go ahead and see. Let's go in and we're going to plan view. We're going to compare the overbuild to the design. Okay? So there's a little bit of fill around the perimeter over there and a little bit of fill over here. So we go area, volumes, and guess what? There's 107 yards. 107 yards. Now, if somebody had done this and built the model, the original model, and overbuilt the pads in their model, guess what? They would have imported, they would have brought in 107 yards more. You're saying, it's only 100 yards, Alan. What the heck? What do I care about 100 yards? 100 yards at $25. Let's just say import is $25. Import or export is $25. That's $2,500. It gets really bad when you get on a big project and you overbid all your pads. You're skewing the import-export. You're making it wrong. Yes, there are quantities. I'm not even saying that. All I'm saying is when you go to do your volumes, you need to compare that existing surface stripped to the final design strip or a subgrade. Those are the quantities for your import or export. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, there's a ton of other volumes. Okay? Yeah, I had a customer not pay me because they said, oh, no, you're supposed to overbuild your pads. I'm like, I'm trying to save them money. I actually saved them money. Did I get paid? No. Yep. So I saved them a bunch of money. Well, all I can say is I made 2 videos on this product, on this subject, and I'm done with this subject. Okay? Don't do this. Don't overbuild your pads. If you want to do a separate quantity, yeah, there's some quantities you might want to separate that. And you know what? Sometimes you might actually have to build that as a select. And then, but it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be additional select, but you're going to have offset for your, because you're going to go out in the parking lot, you're going to leave it low or something like that. So you're always going to try and, you want to bring that material on site. You want to try and make it, you want to move as little dirt as possible and get a good bid. So anyways, that was pretty simple. I mean, yeah, there are so many different quantities. Let me show, oh man. Yeah, let me show you some other stuff that quantity stuff I've done real quick. Yeah, I've done so much. Like some jobs, we used to have to do surcharge. We used to have to do these huge surcharges and staging and ramps and access ramps and there's all kinds of quantities and key slopes and I can't even tell you. Doing the original, but your main quantities, to get your balanced quantities is what I told you. Okay? So, hey, I don't know. I can only try to help. Have a blessed day, my friends.